Hello and welcome to my YouTube video. My name is Angela and I'm an intuitive tarot reader and card reader and an astrologer. Now, as most of my viewers know, I really love this Rose Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell, who believes that roses are our angel guides that have come down to help us in this lifetime. So today I'm going to be pulling a card from this deck, and my difficulties previously have been that the deck that I bought online didn't come with a guidebook. And so I struggled with the readings and the interpretations, but now I've obtained an online guidebook. So I thought, using the energies of the Taurus new moon, we can start learning this Rose Oracle deck together. So before we start the reading, I just want to say that this is a reading for the collective, so take what serves you and leave the rest. And also this reading is relevant to whenever it hits your feed. So if you've come across this reading just randomly, just know that it was meant to be for you. So first, let's cleanse the space. And let's begin. Okay, let's start shuffling. Now, it's quite funny because I was reading watching some other tarot readers' videos today, and they said they had to restart their videos, their recordings. And I also had to do this because I started my first attempt at doing this. The camera seemed to stop visually. It was still recording. It still had, it was like it had taken a still shot, and there was no further motion visually, although it was recording my voice as I was talking. So that was a bit pointless because we want to see these beautiful cards. So anyway, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, please give us a Rose Oracle card for the collective today. Okay. Right, and so the first one is the sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. So they're beautiful cards. I'll leave those so that you can focus in on that. And I'll read from the guidebook. Okay, the sacred waters. Again, I'll read the words on the card. Nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. So the sacred waters are the life-giving mother of us all. Her healing waters replenish us and give us life. We're made up of her. Like the rose, we need her waters to survive and thrive. We must drop our roots deep to receive the nourishment we so deeply need, to appreciate, protect, and honour the very thing that we take for granted. The mother of the sacred waters delivers the message to slow down and take care of yourself, particularly your body, to prioritise your well-being and live in a way that's sustainable. She reminds us to replenish and nourish ourselves and take care of our health all the time, not just when we feel unbalanced. You're being called to nourish and replenish yourself before you become brittle and parched. The mother of the sacred waters wants you to know that there's nothing more important in your life than the care of your own sacred vessel of a body. And the earth is an extension of that. She wants you to treat yourself with tender care, to cherish your body and hers, to fill your well until it spills over, and once it does, to find a way to give back from this place of plenty, to give your body what it's yearning for most before it turns into an urgent need. So what is your body yearning for? Right, mine's yearning for a sip of my lemon tea, so I'll just replenish myself. And move on to the next card that we pulled. So the next card I've pulled is the Breathing Rose. Put that card there. Let's see a little bit closer shot. And the card says, heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. Often healing is a slow, steady process. It's complex, not linear. It takes as long as it takes, and most of the time that's much longer than we'd wish. But like all things in nature, there's a mysterious intelligence to it. And if we trust it and let the vibrant petals fall to the earth, cut back what's no longer, and protect the new shoots and buds from being pried open, we may find ourselves in a second bloom, and fruit will follow. You can't manufacture that. We must trust in the great mystery in the process. The bud somehow manages to burst through the constraints by opening to life. All of nature has this intelligence within it. The challenge when we're going through a time of healing, which is another word for growth, transformation, change, is not to close ourselves off from the world when we most want to separate and shut down, but to somehow find the courage to open through the agony, the difficulty, and the hurt. And when we feel safe enough, to let life soften us, but not harden us, to deepen and cradle us. This is a card of deep heart healing. It will often come to us as a symbol of emotional healing that's in the process of happening. The mending's underway. Treat yourself and your healing with compassion, understanding, and gentleness. This is a card of deep encouragement that you're doing it. Time will ease everything soon. Well, there definitely seems to be a theme of healing and nourishment here. So the question you can ask yourself is, how can you treat yourself with gentle compassion and softness? How can you trust the timing of your healing? So I'll just leave you for a moment to consider that. Right, so the next card that I pulled was the Crowning. Every card is as beautiful as the last. So, the crowning, initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. There comes a time when the flower knows that it can no longer remain in the protective constraints of the bud. Somehow it needs to trust in the birthing energy and surrender to the unknown of the bloom. The same birthing energy exists within all of nature and in birth, both physical and metaphorical. It's an initiation for the mother as well as the child, who transitions from the water world of the womb to a whole new one on earth. This is a card of crossing thresholds and walking through the gates of initiation, which requires great courage and faith. There are rolling contractions and it's almost always not straightforward. As we transition from one thing to another, we're called to burst through the constraints of the seed and then the certainty of the bud, so that something new can bloom from within. We're always birthing something, and deep inside we know that the only way to surrender to the initiation is to surrender to the innate power within. This power is inner, but it's also connected with the intelligence that exists within all life. It's the same energy that tells flowers when to bloom, and it was present when you grew in your mother's womb. Trust in that, it will carry you through. Surrender to what's wanting to be born through you. Life is always trying to initiate us into even more of who we truly are. So the question to ask yourself is, how is life trying to initiate you? Okay. Right, and so the last card, now these cards all fell out together, is the bud. Beautiful. All four wanted to come out together. So they're meant to be read together, obviously. I thought I was only going to be pulling one today. So the bud. Oh, and this one's particularly sticking to my hands, so it definitely wants attention. The bud represents potential, promise. It's about to happen, keep going. A bud is an embryonic swelling on the stem of the rose that has the potential to develop into a flower, leaf, or shoot. In temperate climates, plants form resting buds that are resistant to the brutal frost. In temperate climates, plants form resting buds that are resistant to the brutal frost. And that's what's happening here in New Zealand. Roses thrive in New Zealand because we are a temperate climate. And we're about to go into brutal frosts. So the roses have definitely gone into their resting stage. The bud is the promise of what's to come. It's the physical manifestation of the seeds that we've been holding deep in the earth, nurturing and dreaming through the fertile void of winter. Now we find ourselves in the inner season of spring, and the bud is beginning to realise what it was always destined to be. But it still requires tending in order to bloom one day soon. This is a card of encouragement, potential, excitement, and hope. It invites you to keep facing your true north and show up for what you've been called to create. Your effort has not gone unnoticed. Keep going. Someday soon you'll begin to see this beautiful creation in the world. The bud is connected with spring, the time when the upward energy of life is bursting on through. And it's springtime in the northern hemisphere. You may be seeing the first signs that things are beginning to come together. If you've been working on a project or have been dedicating yourself to ushering in some changes in your life, you're being called to keep going and trust that what you've been working towards is happening. Keep tending your garden, and before long the bud will begin to unfold and bloom. So the question to ask yourself is, what new buds are beckoning to bloom within you? So I hope you've enjoyed this Rose Oracle reading for the day, and I hope you enjoy, keep following and enjoying as we learn together and become familiar with this Rose Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. I really do appreciate your time. And if you did enjoy this reading, remember to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next reading.